Welcome to Sportsline, brought to you by Ace Hardware, New Kensington, AKLC Studios in Leechburg, Arnold Furniture, 5th Avenue, Buffalo Bills, New Kensington, Fazio's Deli and Meats in Arnold, Highland Tire, Torrento and Natrona Heights, Mattio's Pizza and Subs, Brackenridge Heights, Resevich Family of Funeral Homes, Lower Burl in Arnold, 380 Discount Warehouse, Murraysville, Tower Auto in Blawnox, and Westmoreland Insurance Services of New Kensington. Brackets doing, huh? Welcome to the program, Sportsline Trivia. And today, we're down to the Sweet 16.
We are.
And watched a couple of the games over the weekend, most entertaining.
You said the ones yesterday, the two. Yeah. Very good.
And in the second game that I watched, which was the North Carolina game.
Right, Iowa State.
There was a lot of confusion at the end about
the clock.
The 1.6 seconds. I don't understand.
My favorite part was when Steve Kerr said, "I believe the game is over," and Marv says, "If it's not, does that mean you're still leaving?" I thought that was kind of cute. But yeah, they did. They didn't start the clock fast enough when the ball was inbounded. And here was the thing, and people talked about this today, was Carolina had 2 timeouts left. I think that you immediately need to take one when the ball went through the hoop,
right there,
throw it into half court, and then call another one, and then you might have a chance. Or, as Steve Kerr mentioned during the play-by-play yesterday, they would have probably been better off just letting Page get the shot off, running a 35-footer, 30-footer. If it would have been against Pitt, it would have gone in for sure. But, you know, those long baskets at end of halves in games, yeah, they had a bunch of those this year.
By the way, this is wild, and I know it's off the wall. We got a 2-point field goal. We have the 3-pointer.
Right.
What if we made the game a little more exciting with a 4-point shot beyond the half-court line?
That would be interesting.
Why not? Well, anyway, folks, chew on that. Mike and I, we worked over something here that we're going to give everybody a shot at who calls tonight, but I would prefer not to have a guess.
Right.
I would rather have you know who it is. But here's an interesting question that is going to get the person who gives us a correct answer a $25 restaurant certificate. Okay? So, I stumbled on the question when Mike and I, and this is the fun about research, Mike and I sat down here and just fooled around with the computers that we've got, and jumped on the internet, and found out some wild stuff about this.
And I got to give you one that doesn't have anything to do with this. Was earlier in the week, Bob emails me. I have one. He emails it to me, and he says, "Don't look it up. Give me an answer." And I sent him the answer back. I didn't cheat. He sends me the correct answer back, and I said, "See, I told you I didn't cheat."
Anyway,
I didn't look it up.
All right. Here's the question, for the heck of it. Even if you've won last week, and I didn't even know if we had a winner last week. I don't know
that we did.
I don't think we did. But anyway.
It was a quiet weekend there.
So here is the question, for the heck of it. And the folks in the control room do not have a copy, so it will not appear on the screen. But here's the question. Who is the only major leaguer to record his 3,000th hit off of a 20-game winner? It's only happened once in the entire history of all. How many people are in that 20 or 3,000 hit club? I think it's 25 or 26.
It's more than that now.
You can check that out. But anyway,
it's a higher number than it used to be. It may be getting close to 40.
If you want to look at, we're going to have some fun with the name of the pitcher and who he played for, and a couple of things about this guy. Anyway, let's take a look at rules and regulations on winning prizes here tonight on the program. First of all, at your household address, we will allow only one prize every other week. So that will keep that a little more in check. Also, you can win either the Grand Salami or the Mystery Profile once in a calendar month. And as far as the mystery profile goes, you can only try it once a month. The time frames, multiple choice questions are at 15 seconds. The salamis are at 20, and our mystery profile, clue by clue. First time callers, 2 or more prizes. So if you've never called the show before or haven't called us in a year, and I'll take your word for it, we'll get you out more than one prize, okay?
You were much closer than I.
And
28.
28 what?
28 3,000 hits.
Oh, okay. 3,000 Hit Club has 28 members.
And you
okay.
can find that probably on doubledribblebob.com. I'm sure it would be on there somewhere if you looked hard enough.
Anyway, the trivia answers are on my website, doubledribblebob.com. My radio show is every Saturday morning on WAVL, 5,000 watts of power. It's 9:10 on the AM dial. We're going to take a break, and we're going to be coming back to talk with a couple of our callers to kick off the show tonight. I think we're going to switch things around.
Okay.
We're going to start out tonight with Terry, and then we're going to jump to Tony.
Okay.
And I see the light is lit for a third caller.
Tony's going to have to move the rudder today instead of getting on
whoever
setting the
that
table.
was.
Right.
So Tony, I know you usually lead off when you do call in, but
We'll give him time to look up the answer to the question on his computer.
there you go. Yeah, Tony, look that up on the computer.
You can look that up
in the
on the
meantime,
internet.
we'll take a break, folks, and we are coming right back. Since 1914, the local area has relied on the Resevich family of funeral homes in deepest times of need. The Resevich family is the oldest established name in the funeral profession in the AK Valley, now 100 years strong and still doing things right. Its reputation and unquestionable service now continues with a fourth generation. The Resevich family of funeral homes, 5th Avenue Arnold and Leechburg Road in Lower Borough.
AKLC Studios LLC is the place for your video and multimedia needs. Let AKLC Studios produce a unique television commercial for your business. At your location or in our studios, we're here to meet your needs. Ever want your own television show? Let us show you how. AKLC Studios LLC can even tape your special events and weddings. Whatever your multimedia need, call AKLC Studios LLC in Leechburg today. Professional quality at hometown prices. Don't forget to like us on Facebook.
380 Auction and Discount Warehouse, Route 380, Murraysville.
Automotive supplies, groceries, housewares, pet supplies.
All at discount prices.
Sofas, dining tables, recliners, dressers and desks, lamps and end tables.
All at discount prices.
Yard and landscaping supplies, special catalog orders, mattresses with full warranties.
All at discount prices.
School supplies, tools, paint, toiletries, model cars, toys.
All at discount prices. Get to 380 Auction and Discount Warehouse today, Route 380, Murraysville.
You know, if you're looking for a pre-owned vehicle, you get the best in product, the best in selection, and the best in customer communication and best service after the sale at Tower Auto Sales on Freeport Road in Blonox. Now, you don't have to call, but if you want to check in, ask for Mike Fanto, and it's 412-828-6202. And I'm proud to say that one of our callers just went down to Tower within the last couple of weeks and picked out a beauty. And it's Chris from Lower Borough.
That's excellent.
Isn't that something? Anyway, so for you folks out there, keep that in mind. Okay, we're going to jump to the phones. Terry, we're going to take your call first tonight. And thank you for tuning in. Did you hear everything in the pre-show?
Yeah.
Gaborutskis?
I don't have a guess. Well, you said you don't want to guess. I don't have a guess because I don't know the guy.
Okay.
So I'll keep my mouth shut. Hey, Bob, how long has Sportsline been on? 40-some years?
It started with Mike Rice in, I'm going to guess, 1964, somewhere in there.
Okay, so it's about 50 years or so then.
Well, exactly.
I think my comment tonight should qualify me for a trophy from you guys for the most disgusting comment in the history of the program.
Uh-oh.
Now, if this trophy is too large for you to mail, I can come out and get it. I'll bring my wife along. She can carry it to the car from your house, so that I don't want to hurt my back or anything.
What did I say? Did I say something?
No, I'm going to say something.
Oh, okay.
Now, listen to this, if you can believe this. And it's not profane, it's not sexual or violent or anything like that, but I'm watching the Indians and the Reds right now in an exhibition game. And, of course, you guys all saw the film probably of Aroldis Chapman getting line drived in the face, almost in his eye.
I still haven't actually seen it. I saw it out of the corner of my eye far away. I didn't get a close look at it. I don't want to.
Yeah, it was a scorcher. It was even hit harder than that ball that hit the umpire I told you about last week.
Right.
And how about Herb's score?
Yeah. I mean, this
Speaking of the Indians,
probably 2 inches from where Herb's score got hit. And at any rate, Chapman visited the Reds clubhouse, I guess it was yesterday, and they showed a picture of him, and he has a couple of black eyes, looks like he was in a fist fight or something, but he's standing there talking, and of course they're translating what he's saying, but he looks normal other than a couple of black eyes. Well, then they showed a top-down view, and he has a series of staples that go from his ear up over the top of his head and down the other side to his other ear, probably a staple every half inch, something like that.
It looks like stitches on a baseball for people that actually haven't seen it. It's kind of, if you picture a baseball and the way the stitches are around the baseball, that's kind of what his head looks like. And I'm not kidding. I'm not trying to be funny. That's exactly what it looks like.
Yeah, and it went up over the top and down the other side. Mm-hmm. What they did was they sliced him from ear to ear, peeled his face down below his nose, repaired the damage, and then reassembled his face. Mm-hmm. And he's out running around in a couple days. Unbelievable
medical stuff they can do now, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, seriously, back in the day, if this would have happened years and years ago, I mean, that would have been life-threatening.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't know, and maybe, you guys too, it's amazing that no one's been killed, that no pitcher has been killed on the line by the back up through the middle like that.
Oh, my gosh.
It really is amazing. How fast the ball comes back.
When the kids used to talk, when we were first playing ball, nobody wanted to play third base because it was called
I hated it
the hot
too,
corner.
because it came
and that
at
was
you
90
fast.
feet away.
Right.
And here's the pitcher at 60 feet. He's a third of the distance closer.
Well, plus he throws and he's even closer.
Right.
Probably 7 feet closer when he's done striding, Yeah.
And I won't throw batting practice to little kids anymore because I'm afraid I can't get out of the way now.
And who was the third base coach that would walk way out of the coach's box when a certain batter for the Pirates was batting? Was it Stargell?
I don't know.
Well, anyway, somebody might remember.
I don't remember either. I remember something like that. Anyways, I've always, I watch mostly American League Baseball, but I have seen Chapman hit, I swear, 5 different Pirates.
Yep.
I've seen him, I think, hit McCutchen 3 times, once in the head and twice in the shoulder.
And very much on purpose.
Yeah, I think it's on purpose. So he's a headhunter, so he gets hit in the head. You think maybe he's learned his lesson. He now should know what he's capable of doing to somebody. And the quote was from the interviews, "I need to pitch inside more."
Oh, my goodness. Well, we'll see. First of all, we've had this happen to people before, and Bob had mentioned Herb Score. Bob, an Indians fan too, from those days.
Back in the 50s.
Right. And, he was never the same after that. There is no guarantee that this guy is going to be anything close to what he was before, and they're giving these optimistic timetables of when he's going to be back, and I really don't know that can be banked on by the folks in Cincinnati right now. That is a dangerous, dangerous injury. He hasn't really done anything stressful yet, as far as, working out. So, his participation and effectiveness for this season are really, really up in the air.
I agree.
That's terrible.
It's a shame it happened. I wished he had learned something from it.
Well, yeah, and like I said, karma can be a funny thing, and, there you go.
Yep. So, your old buddy from the Pirates, Nigel Morgan, is now Indian.
I had a note to ask you if you called, what you thought about old Nigel making the Indians, because apparently he has made it.
I don't think he'll be an Indian after the first couple weeks when Bourne comes back.
Bourne is hurt, right.
He certainly kept his mouth shut. He's been hustling, but he's also hitting the $180 or something, you know. And
That's the Niger I remember.
Isn't he the one, by the way, who played also some ice hockey?
Yes, he
I
did.
don't know.
Yes,
Yeah.
he did. He was a hockey player, right? He's a big hockey fan, and he played a lot of hockey when he was a kid.
In fact, in an interview, there were several reporters around the kid who didn't know this at all. And something was asked of him, and he said, well, it was just like in junior hockey when I played. And they said, what? And nobody was aware of it.
That's true.
What do you think? You know, you've all probably seen girls softball, high school girls softball.
Sure.
You'll see a girl out there pitching with a bird cage on.
Yes.
What if a major league pitcher went out with one of those on? Would they allow him to play?
That's a good question. I think that they probably would. They have instituted this year that you can wear a protective liner inside your cap. And it's something similar to what some of these guys used to wear in lieu of a batting helmet back in the 60s. Remember Tony Taylor that used to play for the Phillies?
Yeah.
And he would wear the cap, but he had a liner inside of the cap that probably didn't protect anything.
I was gonna say,
but back
yeah.
in 1968, you figured you were pretty much safe with the thing, you know. But pitchers are allowed to do that now. They have passed a rule that makes it completely legal for them to wear a cap with this liner inside of it, and so far none of them are doing it. And even guys that have been hitting ahead, like Brandon McCarthy, that's with the Diamondbacks now, that was with Oakland at the time, that had a terrible one. None of them are going to it. So it's almost like a macho thing. Some of these guys, Terry, won't even go to the safer type of batting helmet because they think it looks dorky. And they would rather chance a concussion about getting hit in the head with a pitch than wear these. And believe me, they're out there. And the same thing in hockey too. There are safer. Now nothing is foolproof. Nothing's 100%. But there are safer helmets out there that these guys won't wear because of the way they look. You see the minor leaguers when the guys are called over from minor league camp in these spring training games, and you can always tell them because they have the double flap helmets on, and which are mandatory in the minor leagues. And it's a tighter fit. It's supposedly safer if you're hit with the ball. And the guys in the major leagues won't do it. They won't go to them.
I really think that the problem they're having here with these kind of things is because the balls are wrapped so much tighter now. They're a harder ball, and they want to see more home runs, and consequently a line drive is more likely to hurt somebody.
I just think, here's what I think too. I think that now every pitcher throws the ball well up into the 90s. You don't find, I mean, and if you watch videos, and I watch a lot of stuff on YouTube, and you go back and look at maybe a game that was played in the 60s, and I watched the game the other day, or just bits and pieces of one, a Cubs-Giants game, and Ferguson Jenkins is a Hall of Famer and one of the great pitchers of all time. He's flipping it up there. I mean, that thing couldn't have been going 85 miles an hour. And you think about it, and it's everybody throws it so hard, and they always say, hey, the harder it comes in, the harder it goes out, and I think that's true. I think a lot of it has to do with how hard the pitchers are throwing, and big, strong guys, and they won't even look at a pitcher under 6 feet to draft now.
Oh yeah, you're right.
So
You're right.
I think that has a lot to do with it too, and the bats are better. That's better wood, and those bats are put together better than they used to be.
Terry, we're going to have to jump over to trivia if we
Okay.
can. Now,
I won the Tinker Toy thing last week, I think.
yeah. Oh, you
Last
did?
week.
Was it
Yeah, I
last
think
week?
Nellie
King.
Oh, Nellie King. All right, so you can't do that.
Yeah.
Well, it was a small prize. I think we sent you a $5, or will be sending you a $5 hot dogs guys certificate. So I'm not going to let that get in the way. We're going to be generous tonight.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, well, I'll try the mystery profile again then.
You can't.
Oh, well, I
can
thought
only
you were saying
try-
you won't let that get in the way. Okay.
We won't let it get in the
understand what you
way.
meant.
We won't let it get in the way if you try like a multiple choice question. Or
All right, we'll do that then.
let's do that. Okay, this is a baseball question. Here we go, Terry. Number 6 on our sheet. Who was the last of the only 3 major leaguers to hit 3 home runs on opening day? Only 3 major leaguers have hit 3 homers on opening day. Who was the last one to do it? Jim Thome, George Bell, Tuffy Rhodes, or Dimitri Young?
I've never even thought of this question in the past. Wow. Wow. I don't know. Dimitri Young?
You are correct.
Really?
Now, it says it's 3, and I don't know this. I know Tuffy Rhodes did it, and I know George Bell did it, so I'm guessing they threw that Bob throws Jim Thome in there to throw you off, and especially you, the Indians guy that you are. Yeah, especially that. So Jim Thome didn't do it. I remember George Bell doing it. He did it in Kansas City for the Blue Jays, and I remember Tuffy Rhodes doing it. He did it for the Cubs, and he did it at home. I don't know who they played that day.
Never heard of him.
But I remember it. Here's why I remember that, because Harry Carey had him breaking like Maris's record by the time the game was over. But this guy was a Tuffy Rhodes, he was going crazy about it.
He was on pace to hit 300
And
for the
he
year.
had 3 home runs on opening day. I think he ended up with like 7.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it just wasn't.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
All right, Terry, congrats.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Tara.
All
Thanks
right.
for calling.
Break
Bye-bye.
time. Break time. We're going to have Tony coming aboard. And thank you for tuning us in tonight. 724-236-0430 is the number. We'll be right back and continue in a moment.
Westmoreland Insurance Services isn't like your ordinary insurance agency. Not only can you get a variety of quotes from leading insurance companies, but you can purchase that protection through Westmoreland Insurance. Accidents happen. Are you prepared? You can be with a wide range of homeowners insurance options from Westmoreland Insurance Services, putting your family's safety in their family's hands for almost 40 years. Give them a call, 724-337-3557. My First Book on Sports is available not only through the internet, but at various local businesses in the AK Valley. It's Bob Tattern's Sports Minutes. Short sports stories, odd and unusual, fascinating and funny, only take about a minute to read. Go online to doubletripplebob.com, where links are provided for Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Word Association to get book information. Get your copy locally at Costello Printing in Tarentum, Blackburn's in Tarentum, Myrna's Brewery Outlet in New Kensington, or the Hot Dog Guys Lower Borough.
We're about that time of the year when people like to order out. They don't feel like cooking. Pretty soon we're going to be out in the back porch.
You promise.
And if the weatherman cooperates. But anyway, think about getting a nice pizza or one of those big sandwiches from Mattio's Pizza and Subs. They're located on Broadview Boulevard in Brackenridge Heights. 724-904-7312 is the number. And they've got some great pizza and some great, great food for sure. Okay? All right, folks, we are back, and Tony is on the line. Tony, thank you for holding on. Welcome. Good to have you.
Yeah. Could you hold on? I'm on the other line with somebody.
I missed that. My earpiece fell
Please say,
out.
can we hold on? He's on the other line with somebody.
How you doing, guys?
Doing good. I'd
we'll
wait
try.
for you, Tony. I actually.
I know you would.
You're worth the
Hey,
wait.
I seen your letter in the papers.
Did
that
you
was
like
you,
that?
wasn't it?
Did you like that? That was a shot.
Oh, yes, I did.
That was a shot across the bow at our neighbors.
And your sidekick, Chomo.
And Mr. Choma, I liked his a lot
Right
better
on the
because
button.
that was, if you missed it, Mike Choma wrote a letter to the editor in the Valley basically saying we need to reinstitute the Catholic League in the WPIAL and split up the public schools from the private and the parochial schools when it comes to sports, because there are so many private charter schools and Catholic schools now that there are enough schools that you could have a legitimate championship for both. And that was and there's there's a lot of merit to that.
Tony, let me interrupt real brief. I was talking with George just the other day, George Guido, who also co-hosts here in the program, and he mentioned to me...
I think I know George. Yeah, go ahead.
Anyway, he mentioned to me not too long ago a private school had won a football championship. Guess how many different school districts had contributed players to this particular school?
I'd say 10.
According to George, 26.
No, is that all?
26
Isn't that amazing?
schools.
Oh, yeah.
26?
We were talking about this the other night after the Cager Classic, and Joe Lucchino was there, and Joe, of course, we all know Joe. Joe, the Leechburg guy, and his point was that back when he was in school, that the Catholic schools were basically, there was basically maybe a Catholic high school in each neighborhood, and what it did was it drew from the neighborhood. So even if you had it wasn't that you were drawing from, like you said, 27 different school districts or 26 to play on the football team. That it was more of a, it was more of a neighborhood type thing, and that's where that went. But it's a lot different now than it was then.
That didn't bother Newcastle on Saturday.
Oh my goodness, are they unbelievable? I told, I have a friend of mine that is a Newcastle person, and I told him, I said, this had to mean a lot to you, because he said, yeah, he said it was especially gratifying to longtime Newcastle fans, because this group of Newcastle players all come from Newcastle.
Yeah,
and
I watched that game. They're terrific.
And they are unbelievable. They beat. Can you imagine this? We all know how good Hampton is. They beat Hampton 4 times this year. And the great thing about Hampton is,
can you imagine beating a team 4 times?
Each game was closer. And it got down to, I believe, they only beat them by 2 points the last time. Yeah. And Hampton just kept whittling and getting it closer and closer, but they just didn't have enough to get over to the hump. They beat them 4 times, and it's a really good team.
That's amazing.
That's unbelievable. Well, did you watch the Penguin game?
I did. You know where I stand. Go ahead.
Give me St. Louis's defense. 33 shots, 25 blocks.
Right.
That means only 8 got to the goalie. Bob, you could play goalie if only 8 shots.
Probably could.
No, that was 33 shots and 25 blocked. That was 33. That was 33 that got through and 25 that got blocked.
Oh.
And counting the ones that missed the net,
they got through.
Counting the ones that missed the net, they launched over 70.
Oh my God, 25 blocked. Oh wow, jeez.
But isn't that something? 70 shots, you get 1 goal.
Yeah, they didn't get nothing.
We didn't get any.
No, well, I'm looking at both games or both teams.
Yeah,
right.
They didn't get anything.
Only 1 goal total.
That's right. The shots only count when they go through. I'm sorry. I wasn't thinking there, but still, the block 25.
That's amazing.
And if a puck hits hits the goalpost,
that doesn't count either.
It doesn't count as a shot because it didn't go in.
It's got to go in between the posts.
Right.
It's the goalie hits the goalie, he deflects it, whatever. Wow. That's unbelievable. They couldn't put it in.
But they're a very good defensive team, Tony. They got a shot. They've never.
I would say
they have never won the Stanley Cup, and they haven't been to the finals since 1969.
Wow.
They have a legit shot. They have a coach that's won the Cup before. Ken Hitchcock won it in Dallas, and the West is loaded. And I have counted 4 for sure that I'm certain of. 4 teams in the West that are better than the Penguins.
Jeez.
They play strong, physical hockey in that division.
And in the East, I think Boston certainly, after proven that they did it last year, are better than the Penguins. And right now, the Flyers are better than the Penguins. So they're going to have a tough road.
Yep. Oh well, hey, whatever. It's like you said, country club atmosphere. So
that's it. It's country club is back.
Let's play the first round and let's go to the country club, play golf.
you may not be too far off.
I heard that old Tippy Toes we're not going to lose a draft choice over that. I heard that.
That apparently is true. That Mr. Tomlin is not going to cost his team a pick. Well, so that's good because
you know what, the rest of the league has got to chime in a little bit and say, wait a minute.
Well, they don't deserve to lose a draft pick. That's ridiculous. He shouldn't have even got fined for it, frankly. He didn't stop the guy.
If
he'd have made contact, Tony, that's one thing. If he'd have made contact with him,
he meant it, But,
he got out of the way.
What's the difference? Even if he'd have tripped the guy, which he didn't, they still would have lost, though.
If he'd have tripped him, they'd have given him the touchdown.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. I know that. And they probably suspended him.
Ravens deserved to win that night.
Yeah, I know that. And what about this running back, Blunt? I mean, how long are they going to keep him hanging?
Well, they can't do. Yeah, the thing that we talked about this the other day. We didn't talk about it here on the show, but I talked about it with some folks the other night. Is that when they were supposed to, and I can't remember who it was, visit with someone last week, but they said, "How about you come on Monday instead?" And they went to spring training. And it's like if you really want to bring a free agent in and you want to talk to the guy, I think maybe you can put spring training off.
Well, it wasn't only that; they had meetings down there.
Right. Well, they were okay this week. I didn't have any problem with them now because the league meetings are taking place right now. That's fine. But this was last week, and I can't remember who the player was. He decided not to sign.
Why didn't they say, "Why don't you come down to Florida and we'll talk down there"?
Well, Blunt played for Tampa, so what's the difference? I mean, he might even be down there now for all we know.
Yeah.
His problem, now what do you guys think of this? He's had his issues, LeGarrette Blount. He punched a kid when he was at Oregon, punched a kid from Boise State at the end of the game and was suspended. He had an issue, I believe, when he played for, it might not have been for Tampa, it might have been the first place he was drafted, might have been the Rams. He had an issue there early, but then, he did good work in Tampa, was a good player for them, and was really good with the Patriots last year. And, I don't know if they want any more problems, but I think the guy's a heck of a running back, and I think he fits the style of the kind of back that they like.
Yeah, right. He's a big running back. He's strong. And I think, he'll be perfect for the Steelers.
I think he would, too. So I guess it's all going to depend on how much he costs and what they still can do with their cap. Thing to remember.
But how many touches is he going to get in the game, though?
Well, that was another thing. I heard some discussion about this today, that he may split time in half with Le'Veon Bell, that he's that good, but I don't think they'd bring him in to do that. They like Bell so much that they're not. Right. That this guy is going to be the second banana for sure. And I'm sure
sure, I would say that, but Bell, I hope he's not one of those fragile backs that gets hurt all the time.
Right, and you know what? He was really durable in college. So it might have just been last year where he got hurt. And after he got going, I liked what I saw. I don't know about you.
I did too.
I like him a lot.
He can go outside, inside. He got speed,
He's a tough runner too. He seems he's bigger than you think, and he can lay a licking on you. And I would like to have a couple of nice physical backs that compound that defense. Another guy you can go to like Blount would be nice. But it's all going to come down to how much it's going to cost and how much cap room that they can work out to do it. The one thing to remember is that the Woodley cap savings doesn't happen until June. They're not working with that right now.
Right.
Even though he already signed with another team, they don't get that.
Watch what they're doing.
They don't get that $8 million in relief until June, which means that they'll probably use it to extend guys that are already on the team and to sign the draft picks and things like that.
Because they said today in the paper they're not talking to Roethlisberger yet about his extension.
I think that's going to wait till summertime.
Well, I would say too. I don't think there's any rush. They probably want to see if he survives this year.
Well, hey, the line did get better as the year went on, so hopefully that'll continue throughout the summer here.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know either. So, you all set for opening day?
I am. I'm not going.
That's a surprise.
I decided to. I wasn't sure when you were leaving, so I figured
I'll be off for a few weeks.
I'm gonna catch a couple later in the week. I'll be okay. I'm not gonna miss the crowd that day. Trust me.
I understand. Well, hey, we'll see. It'll probably be real nice now that you're not going.
Well, it's supposed to be 68 and sunny, of course. This is
naturally, if you were going, it'd have been snowing.
Exactly. Well, hopefully tomorrow's it, Tony. I'm making my official Sportsline meteorological prediction here that tomorrow's snow is basically going to be it.
That'll be it?
That's it. We may see a flurry or two, but tomorrow...
If you're right, you could get a job real quick on any of the network stations.
Exactly. Tomorrow's going to be the last one that annoys us.
Yeah, well, they said it was just a dusting, and some of us won't even get anything. So
that's fine.
Get your shovel ready.
Yeah, exactly. It's out. I didn't put it away. I was afraid.
Me either. I don't put it out yet. I keep it. Well, this year I might keep it till May.
Yeah.
Tony.
Let me see. Hey, Bob, what was that question you asked earlier?
Okay, I was just going to bring it up.
Again, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And we're not looking for guesses. We want to know if you know.
Oh, well, I think I know, but how do I know if I know?
You got a point there.
That's true.
All right. Who's the only major leaguer to record his 3,000th hit off of a 20-game winner?
Now, this means that the guy won 20 games in that season that the guy got his 3,000th hit off of.
Okay, I think it was Lou Gehrig.
All right, no.
No? Okay.
No. We have an interesting story to tell about this, which we're going to do.
Lou Gehrig didn't have 3,000 hits.
That's right.
Yeah, I just said.
That's okay.
That's okay.
It didn't make a difference.
Tony,
I mean, like Eddie Murray has 3,000 hits. There's a bunch of guys that have 3,000 hits.
You've clarified one thing for me.
28 of them we found, yes. Including Pete Rose.
28 of them. Well, Clemente, but he didn't. He hit a double for his 3,000, right?
There you go.
Clemente,
yes, he did. So, all right, let's go to the salami.
Okay. Shoot.
All right.
What number?
Get your voodoo doll on. Start sticking pins in it.
Not me. I root for you.
I know you do, Mike. All right. Number 3.
All right. This is not easy. But
they never are.
But it is.
Because you get 20 seconds. You got no hints or anything.
That's right.
Especially me, you wouldn't give me a...
I wouldn't give
If
you.
I was on my last breath, you wouldn't give me hit
I-
my brief.
I wouldn't give you 20.1 seconds. You know that.
See, this has changed. It used-
Thank you,
used-
Bob. The clock's running out. Go ahead, give me the
It
question.
used to,
You got 3 seconds.
it used to be Pip that didn't like the hints.
It's that Russian weightlifter.
Yeah. It used to be Pip that wouldn't give the hints, and Bob would always give the hints. But now it's kind
Oh,
of
yeah,
changed.
Bob was good time Charlie. Pip used
Exactly.
to drive Pippa crazy. I think Pippa lost 6-7 years of his life because of him giving hints. And now, phew, he's like a clam.
You know the two things? It was the trivia questions and lousy accommodations at WPIL playoff games. That's what did it.
That's what did it.
All right, Tony. What'd you say, number 3? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Guys in the control room, if you're ready, here we go. 4 times in Pittsburgh Pirate history has the team homered with its first 2 batters in the game, either home or away. All right?
Back-to-back home runs.
in the game. He neither home or away. Okay.
Back-to-back home runs to start the game 4 times.
Right.
Okay.
Now, there could be as many as 8 players who, were involved. However, there were only 7, so that means one of the Pittsburgh Pirates was involved twice. All you have to do, Tony, for $100 in prizes and a salami is to tell me who that is in 20 seconds from now.
One player did it twice.
One player was involved twice. I'll give you a hint. Just
No!
think top of the order. I'm just saying think top of the order, obviously,
Well,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, well, I figured that. So, geez.
10 seconds.
How about, I don't know. Geez. Don Hoke?
The Tiger.
No. I will have the pleasure of telling you who this is.
Paul in the audience.
Okay, Paul, do
He-
you know who it is?
He doesn't, but your guess was what mine was. Omar Marino. Paul guessed
Yeah.
Omar Marino, which is what I said.
And it is not true. The answer, the guy is still playing.
You're going to love this.
The guy is still playing for the Pirates.
Huh?
Jose Tabata.
Can you believe that?
He did
He's
it
the
in,
only one that did it twice.
Yeah, can you believe that?
He got
did it
back
in-
so 27.
he did it in 2013, I believe, the first year that he was with Pittsburgh.
He might have been here in
Bob,
12.
you could have gave me 1 hour of guesses. I would have never guessed him.
And you know what?
I
Neither
love these
hour.
tough ones, Tony.
Neither would I. And that
Tabitha.
is just unbelievable. I would have guessed Omar myself, but
Yeah.
I remember Omar Marino and Johnny Ray doing it once.
Not Johnny.
Johnny Ray.
Are you sure?
Omar Marino and Johnny Ray did
Johnny
it.
Ray?
Okay.
Johnny Ray was a
Yeah,
good
it
hitter.
could be. You could be right.
Thanks for the call, dude.
All right, guys. Have a good one.
All right. In the meantime, we have a break, and we come back with Mark from New Kensington, and we will get to Paul in the audience in our next segment as well. So let's take a break. We'll come right back. Stay aboard. The number 724-236-0430. Back in a flash. Welcome to Buffalo Bill's Roadhouse, the place for big appetites. Their great sandwich selection includes the Geronimo, piled high with generous portions of meat and fixings. Their barbecue ribs are the best in town. Half rack or full rack, they don't come better. Buffalo Bill's wings are everybody's favorite. Uniquely oven-baked, not deep-fried, and yet so crispy. Your choice of 13 flavored seasonings. Grab a bucket for the big game. Eat in or take out, credit cards accepted. Buffalo Bill's Roadhouse, Freeport Road, New Kensington, across from Faldarelli Square.
For over 38 years and 3 generations, Arnold Furniture has been the area's favorite furniture store. We have over 4 floors of living rooms, dining rooms, recliners, bedding, carpeting, and so much more.
You'll always find friendly personal service from one of the family.
And our prices consistently beat the competition, plus free local delivery and free setup guaranteed. Visit Arnold Furniture online at arnoldfurnitureinc.com or stop in and see us today.
AKLC Studios LLC is the place for your video and multimedia needs. Let AKLC Studios produce a unique television commercial for your business. At your location or in our studios, we're here to meet your needs. Ever want your own television show? Let us show you how. AKLC Studios LLC can even tape your special events and weddings. Whatever your multimedia need, call AKLC Studios LLC in Leechburg today. Professional quality at hometown prices. Don't forget to like us on Facebook.
All right, folks, you've got the luxury of choice where when you buy your car, your previously owned vehicle from Tower Auto Sales. And the reason is because where you buy your vehicle is just as important as what it is you buy. So let their experienced sales staff help you. 40 years at the same location. Tower Auto Sales in Blawnox, right there at the traffic light. Call Mike Fanto, 412-828-6202, or just stop by and say hello to Mike and the crew. And again, as I mentioned, we had one of our steady listeners go down and stop by the house one day and said, you got to come out and take a look at this car.
Right.
And I did, and I'll tell you what, fantastic. Chris from Lower Borough buying his car from Tower.
Excellent.
Let's go to Mark. Mark, thank you for holding on. You're a patient guy.
Yeah, good evening, fellas.
Thanks, Mark. Well, the good news is you get to listen to the show while you're
Yeah,
waiting.
that's right, because that's the only way I can until last Thursday night. Yeah. Yeah, I go by Tower Auto every day going to work.
There you go.
Good.
Except they're not open at 6 in the morning. Yeah. That was a nice article Mike wrote about the Virginia Drive Speedway.
Exactly. It's.
I wasn't sure if that was you or not, but when Tony said it, I guess.
It was. That was. Yeah. They. It looks like the surface of the moon down there.
That's
But
a good idea, though. But that saves putting those ramps up, but the things are already there.
exactly. You're going to lose your car in one of those. I have a sneaking suspicion as the weather gets warm here in the next week or so that those are going to get fixed now.
Yeah, they were fixing a lot on the roads today
Yeah.
tonight. It's nice to see the Pirates retiring number 4 on their jersey. I mean, they're going to wear number 4.
They're going to put the
Ralph Kiner.
Yeah.
Right. Very nice. Very nice touch. The Mets are going to wear one too. The Mets patch is going to have a microphone on it. It's going to have Ralph's initials and have a microphone on there.
That's nice.
So the Mets are wearing one too.
What other team did Ralph play for besides the Cubs and Pirates? The Indians,
Indians.
1 year?
The Indians.
Indians 1 year. Okay, was it just 1 year then?
Yeah, his back was giving him a lot of problems, and that's when he decided to retire.
Okay. And what do you gentlemen think about the extra point that they're working on, the extra point controversy for 1 point or moving it yards back?
Yeah, I heard that the proposal that they're going for to start with here is that they're going to put the line of scrimmage for an extra point kick at the 20. Is that what it was, or the 25, and make it just a look?
We're playing with tradition here.
Just get rid of it if you don't want it.
Yeah.
I mean, just say we're not going to kick an extra point anymore. We're going to put the ball at the 2-yard line, or pick one, and pick the 5-yard line. I don't even care where it is, and say we'll go for 2 every time, and that'll be it.
I think, wasn't Mike Tomlin talking about, put it on the 1, it would give you more of a choice to go for 2.
That's Tomlin's idea, which, if you moved it to the 1, then that you would be more apt to go for it. It's the 2-point conversions are made more than 50% of the time, so why not just go? Someday a coach is just going to say, you know what, I'm just going to go for 2 every time anyway. I think Chip Kelly's this close in Philadelphia. He's the type of guy that would do it. He's this close to doing it. In the bad snow game last year, when the Eagles played at home, and I can't remember who they played, it was a terrible snowstorm in Philadelphia that you couldn't kick because there was so much snow on the field you couldn't clear the spot, that everybody went for 2 on every touchdown.
Now, what year did the 2-point come in the NFL? I know the AFL, I think, always had it.
It was in the 90s.
90s?
Yeah, it was in the mid to late 90s.
Let me find out.
That they finally went, because I'll tell you what pushed it ahead was probably the USFL, because the USFL had it.
Or the USFL, yeah.
No, that was 83 then.
In the early 80s, and then after the USFL went out of business, the NFL picked up a few of their rules that they liked and kind of instituted them. And I'm going to say probably the early 90s is when the NFL finally went to it. I think it was a good choice to do that.
Yeah, it makes the game a little interesting. Yeah, I like.
And you're never out of the game either, because you can be down by 8 and you still have a chance. It's still a 1-score game then.
Yeah, where years ago, 30-some years ago, if you were down, it was really tough. You'd have to score 2 for sure to even.
Exactly.
Did college always have 2 points?
As far back as I can remember. Now I don't. I only go back to the 70s, but I mean, as far back as then they had it, and I'm pretty sure that it.
Let me give you a little story. Back in the 60s, Mike Rice and I were doing high school football together. And he said to me, we were on our way to a game, and it was the strangest thing. At the thought of it, at the time that he had mentioned, he says, Bob, in Ohio, they have an option to go for a 2-point extra point. I said, it'll never happen here. And shortly after that, it got some steam, and it's because, of course, we border Ohio, and there were a lot of people talking about it. Why don't you guys take a serious look at it in PA? For your, of course, it had to go through the PIAA, it had to be statewide. But back in the 60s, Mike Rice had said, they're doing the 2-point option in Ohio. Wouldn't that be great if we did it here? What do you think? So
how about that?
It goes back. Are you looking for the...
Yeah, I'm looking for it.
20th anniversary it is for the NFL 2-point conversion 20 years ago.
So it's 94.
Roughly.
93, 94.
So before that in high school, Bob, you could go for the run, but you'd only get 1 point. Say if your kicker
correct.
Right?
That's correct.
Right. 1994, Tom Tupa scored the first 2-point conversion in NFL history.
There it is.
For the Browns, of all people. Tom Tupa was a great punter / kicker / quarterback at Ohio State University.
Well, I guess I'm ready for the multiple choice. I haven't won in a while. So.
All right, Mark. Here we go. Let's see if we can get you one. This will be number 7. Who was the first National League player to hit 500 career home runs? The first National Leaguer to hit 500 home runs. Was it Mel Ott, Willie Mays, Ernie Banks, or Jimmy Fox? 4 Hall of Famers there.
And by the way, when he did it, there were only 2 people in the 500 home run club, Babe Ruth, and I forget who the other guy was.
How about Jimmy Fox?
It is not Jimmy Fox. It is Mel Ott.
Mel Ott.
The great New York Giants slugger with the big leg kick.
Back in the 40s or 50s?
Oh, no, 50s, probably.
No, 20s.
Wait a minute, who am I thinking of then?
Oh, wow.
Well, you know why? Because I'm thinking about the Polo Grounds. They had that short porch.
Right, you could pull it down the line and get an easy one, but center field you couldn't hit a home run.
One more quick comment. You were talking about the pitchers getting hit with the ball. Wasn't a pitcher called Ryan Doran got hit for the Yankees, I think maybe in the 50s or 60s, and he was never the same?
That's possible. I remember that he had the big glasses. He had the big, thick Coke bottle glasses and hit the ball very, very hard. And guys were afraid to get in there against them.
It's funny you bring up the name because there were it was part of a discussion about former Yankee pitchers. They reminded me that when Ryan Doran went out there with those thick glasses, he would look toward home plate before he threw the first pitch. And it'd say, Yogi, would you say something so I get a bearing on where you are back there?
Well, Bob Vila used to have that deal too, because he would have them and they would steam up, and he'd have the red hanky sticking out of the back of his pocket, and he wouldn't wipe his glasses off because he didn't want anybody to think he knew where it was going.
Okay, it's nice talking to you fellas. Have a good week, and hopefully I can call next week.
Thank you, Mark.
Okay,
appreciate
good night.
it. Thanks.
Okay, we're going to take a break.
Tell the boss to leave you on daylight.
Yeah. All right. Let's do a break. When we come back, Paul's going to be at the studio audience table and the special microphone that we have there. And we'll get to that here when we return on Sportsline Trivia. 724-236-0430. Back in a flash.
This is where you get the absolute freshest deli meats and cheeses. Fazio's Italian Deli in Arnold. At Fazio's, you're getting only the best and freshest selection. Fazio's has its own bakery and offers you fresh baked bread, rolls, pastries, and more. Pick up individual salads to go. Italian sausages, hoagies, custom-made sandwiches, even party trays for your next get-together. Freshness and quality every time at Fazio's Italian Deli, Leishman and Dre in Arnold.
There once was a hungry road that wouldn't let drivers get very far. It wore out their tires, forcing them to buy new ones. Then along came the Michelin Man who proved the right tire changes everything. With long-lasting tires in place, those drivers were back on the road to saving money. Drive longer with the Michelin Defender tire, backed by a 90,000-mile limited warranty. Michelin, a better way forward.
Available at Highland Tire under the bridge in Tarentum and Freeport Road, Natrona Heights. Westmoreland Insurance Services isn't like your ordinary insurance agency. Not only can you get a variety of quotes from leading insurance companies, but you can purchase that protection through Westmoreland Insurance. Westmoreland provides a full range of coverage for all of your automobile needs. Westmoreland Insurance Services, putting your family's safety in their family's hands for almost 40 years. Give them a call, 724-337-3557.
Mike and I were doing a little research during the break. I have not located anything about Dorn getting hit.
Yeah, I don't
As,
know that. That could have happened.
Now,
He
not
pitched
as a batter,
while
but
he was
throwing
pitching,
the ball.
Now, he pitched when he was in the 60s, right? That was his, his deal, the 50s
And
60s.
here's that story about Yogi Berra. He said, Yogi Berra said that Ryan Dorn got down on his knees on the pitcher's mound, and he was scraping
the rubber.
And the batter said to Yogi, "What's he doing?" He says, "He's looking for the rubber." Anyway.
Well, if anybody, Paul, you saw Bull Durham, right? No. Oh, it's a great movie. But anyway, when the dear Nuke LaLoosh came in to pitch, and he was so wild, he threw his first pitch and he hit the mascot with it. He threw it to the backstop to try to shake up the batters a little bit. It worked out quite well.
Welcome to the show.
Yes.
Hey, how's everyone today?
Good, Paul. How are you?
Hey, we're hanging in.
Yeah, I'm going to start out with a NBA prediction for tonight.
Oh, NBA action!
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
The Philadelphia 76ers will snap their 24-game losing streak tonight.
Against?
At the 51-16 San Antonio Spurs. Lee Corso would say, write that down.
Write that down. Well, my question is Pop going to rest guys tonight? Because he might. He has a tendency to rest his players on nights when he figures he doesn't need them, or just feels like it irritate the league.
Right.
So I can see that happening. But yeah, the Sixers are on a real streak right now, aren't they? They are bearing down on that record.
And the thing is, they're still 2 games ahead of Milwaukee, so what does that say for the Bucks?
They could break the losing streak record. Exactly, and still not get the first pick.
Right.
I mean, still have the worst record. Of course, there'll be a lottery. But
Yeah, didn't New Jersey only win like 10 games like 5 years ago?
I don't know. I'm not sure who it was the worst. I think the Sixers had the worst. There was a Sixers team that had it, or the Clippers or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Might have won like 9 or something.
What team were the Brooklyn franchises right now?
They were the New York Jersey Nets, and then they were the New York Nets before that.
Okay, so
in the ABA, I think Dr. J played for them.
Dr. J did play for them.
It's the first professional team Brooklyn's had since the Dodgers
That's
left.
it.
Right.
So.
And then guess what? Don't sleep on them. They got off to a horrible start, but they're playing great now. And they something's wrong with Miami. I don't exactly know what it is. Something's wrong with Miami. I've never bought Indiana at all because I just, what have they ever done? And Paul George is kind of gone in the tank now. I don't know what happened to him. But don't sleep on the Nets because, they're basically the Celtics.
Right.
In a different uniform. And they could do it once. I mean, I think they could win 1 series. I don't know that they could win 4, but I think if they had to play one of Indiana or Miami, they could win.
Right.
And which would considering the horrible start they got off to, just that's what happens when you throw a bunch of guys and egos together and a coach that's never coached before, Jason Kidd. So that's it's getting into my NBA time. I only watch the NBA when it's warm outside.
There you go.
I do enjoy the playoffs, and I'll start to pay attention.
Yeah, I'll make that prediction about the Sixers.
I like that. I'm writing that down.
And we'll check.
Sixers
we keep the stuff
win at San
I believe
Antonio.
the game is an 8:08 tip, I think.
I will keep track of that this evening myself.
Okay, turning to March Madness, I only have in my bracket 7 of the 16 teams, so I'm not doing. I did have North Dakota State.
I didn't fill one out.
Oh, you didn't.
So which is great because filling out a bracket kind of makes you root for teams you don't like.
Right.
Because you want your bracket to do well.
Right.
So I went the other direction, and now if somebody I don't like loses, I just enjoy it. And that's
Right.
I have Florida to win in our one pool, so that's what I'm kind of hoping for.
And I knew Wichita State was only going to win 1 game.
Well, what a great game that was, though. You can't. People were talking about them being a 1 seed, and now, they really didn't deserve to be a 1 seed because they lost. If you watch that game, like as you said, Bob, that game could have gone either way. And Kentucky played great, and Kentucky, a bunch of freshmen coming together. They're not freshmen anymore.
Yeah.
So that Wichita State I thought was legit, and they just were beaten.
And I still have the 2 championship game teams, Michigan State and Arizona, in it. So,
I had all those. I'm trying to think of the guy's name again.
Yeah, we'll have that.
Hote or Moat.
Moats, yeah.
Moats.
The Tony was giving us a update on he called in Arthur Moats, the Steelers signed a linebacker. He'll be a backup, so we want to get that in too. So.
By the way, have you any clue as to what Mike and I were talking about earlier? The only major leaguer to record his 3,000th hit off of a 20-game winner that season. And this guy, by the way, had 2 20-game winning seasons. He also pitched for the Pirates. I don't want to give any more away than that, but only one of the 28 members of the 3,000 hit club got his off of a 20-game winner.
I'm just taking a guess, Clemente.
No.
It was not Roberto
Well,
Clemente.
Paul's our last,
Right.
so we want to chat a little bit about this anyway.
Okay.
Hannes Wagner.
I would never known.
And what was the hit, Mike?
Hannes Wagner, I can find that.
I thought you had the...
I have the list. I have to go to my other thing.
Anyway.
It was a double on June the 9th of 1914. I know we were all there.
I think it was on ESPN
100
News.
years ago, Bob. Yeah, it's going to be the 100th anniversary coming up in June of that, by the way.
How about that?
Of Hannes Wagner's 3,000th hit.
Does anybody have a copy of that in their basement, in the video?
Crosby.
Yeah, Bing Crosby in the wine cellar.
Thanks to Bing, yeah.
But listen, Mike and I want to talk about the pitcher.
Okay.
For you folks out there
This is pretty good.
of Jewish persuasion.
Okay.
The guy's name was Erskine, Erskine, Mayer or Meyer, depending upon which way you pronounce
I
it.
believe it was Meyer.
Okay, Mayer.
Like Oscar
And the reason Mike is saying this is because his last year was 1919, and guess who he was pitching for? The White Sox in the infamous Black Sox scandal in the
He
World
actually
Series.
pitched in the World Series. He wasn't implicated in the scandal, however. The Pirates had sold him to Chicago late in the season because they needed another arm in one of those late season deals.
Right.
Pirates were out of the race. They sold him to the White Sox. He ended up not winning the World Series, obviously, because there were some shenanigans going on. But
Anyway.
he was a pretty good pitcher. He had 2 years where he won over 20 games. With 1 year was 19 losses, but his ERA was in the 230s.
Wow.
I mean, this is a
Isn't that
good
amazing?
pitcher. You know, this is a good pitcher. But here's an interesting stat, and I found this. In 1914, the year that this happened, he faced 1,343 batters. To put that into perspective, Clayton Kershaw from the Dodgers last
Right.
year, who's probably the best pitcher in the National League and pitches a lot of innings, had 908 batters faced.
Unbelievable.
It was a whole other. It's like another. They pitched a season and a half compared to what they pitch now.
Right.
It is. It's unbelievable that those guys did. But Erskine Meyer was a heck of a pitcher, and it turns out it's one of the great Jewish pitchers of all time, which I didn't know. I make Sandy Koufax #1, and we make the list after that.
Yeah.
Right.
But
Yeah, starting pitchers pitched like 8-9 innings back. Now it's
You know, they
only
had a
5 or
rule.
6.
They had a rule at one time that if the manager wanted to remove or bring on another pitcher, the guy that started was not allowed to leave the game. He had to take another position.
he had to stay in,
Oh, right.
And
like Little League.
a one-armed pitcher, for that reason, owns the major league record of the most complete games in a career because they didn't want to put him in another position. He had one arm.
So they left him in.
Like the Jim Abbott situation.
Right. But Jim Abbott could hit.
Right.
Jim Abbott did well. We got to do trivia, Paul. We got
Yes.
to leave.
Yeah, okay.
So
let's
I'm
do trivia.
eligible for salami then?
Well, if you haven't won on salami, sure.
No. Okay.
All right, Paul's going to shoot for
Pick
salami,
one.
guys.
Shoot for it.
Everything but number 3.
Number 1.
I
Mike?
think
You
it's
wanna-
your- it's
my
your-
turn? Okay, number 1. We got to hustle with this one. Name the first. Paul may have heard this one. Do you looking at this, Paul?
Name the first.
You remember? Okay. Name the first college basketball team to average 100 points per game over a full season.
I'm going to guess UNLV.
Well, then you didn't hear the discussion because there are times when
Right.
Mike and I get a little loud up here.
Right.
Jacksonville from 1970, before
Right.
there were 3-point shots and a shot clock. And they did it.
Yeah.
And Artis Gilmore was the star of Jacksonville. Mike brought that up.
Right, and I knew there had to be a great player involved. It was like, oh, Jacksonville, Artis Gilmore.
Right.
Great player.
Okay. So, Paul, thank you.
Okay, thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Have a good day.
And you have well, you did take a guess. You guessed Clemente. right?
Yeah.
Okay. For the heck of it.
I wouldn't
Anyway.
have known anyway.
All right. Thanks to Josh and Bill, our excellent producers.
Yes.
And
gotta go.
we are late. Thanks for watching. See you next week at the same time. Bob Tattern here.
Mike Pavlik.
Good night.
Thank you for watching Sportsline, brought to you by Ace Hardware, New Kensington, AKLC Studios in Leechburg, Arnold Furniture, 5th Avenue, Buffalo Bills, New Kensington, Fazio's Deli and Meats in Arnold, Highland Tire, Toronto and Natrona Heights, Mattio's Pizza and Subs, Brackenridge Heights, Resevich Family Funeral Homes, Lower Borough in Arnold, 380 Discount Warehouse, Murraysville, Tower Auto in Blawnox, and Westmoreland Insurance Services of New Kensington.